The first question I wanted to share with you is, how did you first find out about PostgreSQL? So 2024, these are the results, and this is in comparison to 2023's numbers on the right-hand side. So as you can see, work and colleagues is still number one. It's a pretty high percentage of people who don't remember how they learned about Postgres, which is interesting.
Well, I assume probably via search engine, right? You search for database.
Interesting.
You search what's free, and I guess at that time, there was always like MySQL and then PostgreSQL. Those were the two choices. I remember I was being pulled into MySQL for a while because that was like the default for Ruby on Rails at that time. So then I was doing a lot of MySQL, but I always kind of drifted back to PostgreSQL. I always enjoyed it a little more.
Do you think your feelings have changed at all now that you've kind of grown up with Postgres?
Well, as I left the Ruby on Rails world, I just kind of like, stuck to PostgreSQL as my personal default, right? And I just found it never let me down. It's always been like the good tool. It got the job done. It had its performance and its feature set. I found it very intuitive to use. I found it user-friendly as well.
I think that's great. Another thing that kind of surprised me is that on this list in particular, school was actually higher up on the list last year than it is this year. That was very interesting to me. Search engine also surprised me that it's farther down the list this year so far. We're hearing about it from friends in technical blogs. Actually, it's higher on the list this year too. Do you feel like there's maybe more content as the years go on, more and more people are trying to talk about how amazing Postgres is and how flexible and how reliable it is, that there's just more content available for people to talk about it maybe?
Yeah, I would say so. And it's probably also coming to the forefront because like Timescale, there is like a plugin and there's other plugins that are now coming out, but you can see that it's still being developed and that it can actually like change the way it works or the way it operates, right? That it's kind of like allows that flexibility to expand on top of it, right?
Customizable whenever you need it to be, right?
Right, so that you can have Postgres for different purposes, right? So you have time series data, you have vector data, or you have like positioning data, right? Things like that. Then you can expand it.